What up, and welcome to the fourth installment of Chingron. Today, I want to address a very personal and sensitive topic for me: transracialism. Many of my viewers don't really comprehend what a transracial is, and some question whether it's even a real thing. So I want to take a moment to discuss what it means to be transracial and hopefully clarify any misconceptions people might have about us. Let me begin by saying that I didn't choose to be transracial. It chose me. I was born in El Paso, Texas, to two cisracial white parents. From as early as I can remember, I knew I wasn't like other white boys. I preferred tacos and burritos over hamburgers and sandwiches. I listened to J-Lo and not Coldplay. While the other white boys were out playing baseball and football, I was playing football. I didn't want a bouncy castle at my birthday parties. I wanted piñatas. And I gotta say, growing up as a minority in El Paso, surrounded by Hispanic culture, didn't help. All of my classmates were Mexican. The entire city was Catholic. And aside from my parents, there was simply no way for me to connect with my own kind. As the years went by, I found myself identifying more and more as a Latino, randomly yelling out "Arriba, arriba" for no apparent reason, joining a mariachi band, and my addiction to jalapenos grew so out of control that I eventually landed in the emergency room for a capsaicin overdose. Luckily, I survived, but the physical and emotional damage caused by my racial dysphoria had taken its toll. For months, I was depressed and confused, isolated, and oftentimes suicidal. Until one day, I walked into Taco Bell and I saw something I had never seen before. A white man sitting down, eating tacos and burritos. I couldn't believe it. I walked up and said, "Excuse me, you also like tacos and burritos?" And he looked at me and said, "Of course. Who doesn't like tacos and burritos?" I introduced myself. I said, I'm so happy to meet you." And he replied, "My name is Beto O'Rourke." And I said, "Wait, Beto O'Rourke? But I thought you were white." And he said, "Oh, my birth name is Robert Francis O'Rourke. I was born white, but now I identify as a Latino. I am trans-Latino." And for the first time in my life, I knew I wasn't alone. At that moment, I finally understood my place in the universe. I too was a transracial Latino. I never saw Mr. O'Rourke again, but he, along with another transracial, Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren, would go on to become failed presidential candidates who would forever change how America views us transracial progressives. Following my encounter with Mr. O'Rourke, I slowly began to regain my confidence. My life suddenly had new meaning. But the biggest challenge was yet to come. Coming out to my parents was probably the most difficult thing I've ever done. To this day, I'll never forget my mother's reaction when I told her I was transracial. She clenched her fists together, looked up into the air, and screamed, "Dear God, no. My little white boy is gone. My little white boy is gone." But my grandmother took it the hardest. She looked straight into my eyes and said, "They're not like us, Scooter. Why do you choose to have such a difficult life?" Poor Granny just couldn't understand why I would give up my white privilege. But for me, being white just didn't feel right. And soon thereafter, I began my racial reassignment therapy. The doctors put me on a strict diet of tacos and burritos, along with monthly injections of melanin to make me look and feel more Latino. And things were good. Things were really good for a while. But as I got deeper and deeper into my transition, I began to realize that Granny was right. Life as a trans-Latino wasn't the bed of roses I imagined. It turns out that of all the marginalized and victimhood groups, us transracials are the lowest on the totem pole. There are no parades, and there isn't a single website or form where I get to check the transracial box. None. Zero. Society just laughs at us and pretends that we don't exist. But the greatest discrimination that we face is that we don't even have a flag. Gays, lesbians, transsexuals, blacks, Mexicans, they all have flags. But us transracials don't. And today I intend to remedy that injustice and give something back to the transracial community. Ladies and gentlemen, behold the transracial pride flag, with each stripe representing a different race. And keeping in line with progressive values, the white stripe is placed on the bottom, exactly where it belongs. Finally, something to unite us transracials under one umbrella. And that's all I got to say. This is Chingron, signing out. If you enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe. And until next time.